Hey, this is Alan Curtis Meisner, otherwise known as the Dragonmancer. And of course, as usual, there is my lovely assistants, the tortoise, the mouse, and the eagle. And so basically, as you have seen, I've been able to add animated shorts to my video, which basically those of you who are regular viewers have seen them, or perhaps I have sent you a video or two. And basically, as I recall, that's what I included on there, because basically, as I recall on my video, what the lair of the Dragonmancer is and is not all about, that is one of the things that I included on there. And if it turns out that that is not the case, yes, I will include that right here. That basically animated shorts, such as the latest ones of anime, Happy Dance anime style, and the Space Age ones, like the one that I call Fat Albert is the Bomb. That's a pretty funny one. And basically, that's it's more to come. For some strange reason, during the last 2 or 3 days, I haven't been able to post any videos of this kind, and mostly because every time I tried to record it, for some strange reason it ended up on the upper left hand corner. My headshot ended up there. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it was some malfunction on YouTube's part, but when you really think about it, sure, it was frustrating, but these things happen in the end. So basically enjoy the animated shorts, because there will be more coming in due time. And basically the dialogue is pretty cool. And of course there will be more presentations of Wyvern the Dragon. I'll be able to bring him along with Selkie the Seal and the Snowy Owl. I'll be able to tell more stories. Like, from what I've noticed, the most popular one, interestingly enough, that seemed to have sparked a little bit of controversy, is the one entitled My Testimony. But basically, when you really think about it, the controversy of this kind can actually be a good thing. Because basically, there are those who are out there who do not agree with what my religion teaches, but at the same time I might not agree with everything that other religions teach, but in the end it's all about respect. So basically that's kind of the thing. So basically, there was a Lutheran bishop who is now since passed away. He's established 3 rules when it comes to interfaith discussions. Rule number 1: if you really want to know about the religion that you ask the members of that religion, not the enemies or the detractors of it. Because if you do, what'll happen is that you've just given them the opportunity to break the commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness. So rule number 2, like I said, but before I go on to rule number 2, I will emphasize rule number 1. Ask the members of that religion, not the enemies or the detractors, not the ones who are basically just is going to tell exaggerations, lies, and half-truths. Rule number 2: if you are going to if you're going to have a religious discussion, never, never, ever, ever compare my best with your worst, or vice versa, but always my best with your best. The best qualities, for instance, I'll give you an example. I remember I knew a man who was one of Jehovah's Witnesses as when I was in the Army. Believe it or not, there have been actually as such, there is a such thing every once in a while as those who are currently Jehovah's Witnesses who have been in the Army, whereas otherwise, for the most part, they don't believe in fighting. But basically, I pointed out to him that one of the things that my faith and his faith had in common is that we have a tremendous number of individuals that are extremely devout in their faith. Jehovah's Witnesses and Latter-day Saints together have at least that in common, if nothing else. We have that in common, as well as a belief that God is real. Now, I remember I told him that if I could not be a Latter-day Saint, I would be a Jehovah's Witness, because, like my faith, they do have a lot of individuals that are extremely devout in their faith. Extremely devout. So that's an example of my best with his best. Rule number 3. Have holy envy for the other religion. Now, basically, one thing that is unique to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is that we are the only Christian faith that believes wholeheartedly in the notion that family relationships, families do not have to end on earth. After all, when you really think about it, the family is the one thing that you find on earth that can actually go with you in due time. You might not, basically, you part with your families in the hardest way that you possibly can. But we have the uniqueness of having individuals among our ranks who are able to seal families for time and all eternity. So basically, we have our family units, and it's during that time between in cradle and grave. There might be some individuals that might be thinking, wait a minute, didn't Christ say none are given in marriage? He did. But here's what he meant. See, basically, a lot of individuals, when they trace back their marriage, they trace it back to the day when they exchanged wedding rings and wedding vows. But what about those events that led up to that point? What about the event where he knelt down and proposed to her? What about that moment when you start going out on date dinners, and like going out to dinner, lunch, breakfast, maybe even walk out on a beach on a moonlit night? What about those moments that lead up to that day when you're exchanging wedding vows? See, basically, what Jesus Christ was teaching was that the wedding ceremony, that's the event. That's what does not take place on the other side of the veil. You want to exchange wedding vows and wedding rings. If you want to have that moment where you're saying I do, and maybe even smothering each other. Basically, if you want to reach that, sorry about the interruption. It was blanking out on me for some reason. Smothering each other with the wedding cake. If you want to reach that moment, and you do it right here while you reside between cradle and grave, because it's not going to happen there. That's what Jesus Christ meant when he said none are given in marriage in the kingdom of heaven. That's what Christ was talking about. Because you have to keep in mind that the individuals that were asking were called the Sadducees, and they had no concept of resurrection. They were influenced by the Greeks, so they had no concept of resurrection whatsoever. Whereas the Pharisees and the followers of Jesus Christ taught about resurrection. So basically, if you teach about resurrection, you must needs acknowledge the reality that marriage can be eternal. And that is the story that I am able to tell without even half trying. I must admit I've enjoyed being able to make the animated features, and I look forward to making more of them in the future. As ever, thanks for watching. Take care.